What's up, guys? I'm Justin from CBI and Prinsu. Today we're going to show you how to install a Prinsu rack on your Ford Maverick. Stay tuned for the install. All right, so the first step is let's get everything unpacked and kind of laid out how it's going to install. So you can see we have the crossbars laid out. We got our mounting feet, side rails, wind deflector, and all our hardware is over here with all our spacers. So what I've done with the hardware is I went ahead and put a washer on the associated bolt, and I put a little bit of Loctite on it. Loctite's included. So we got all that done and we laid out. The spacers are all going to be the same size, so don't worry about that. And these mounting feet are all going to be the same. You'll have four that are the same, and you'll have the middle one that's going to be different that takes the adhesive, and I'll show you that right now. All right, so now we're going to start assembling the rack partially down here on the floor, and then we'll set it on the vehicle and mark some mounting holes. So we'll use our 3/4 inch long bolts to install the mounting feet and the crossbars. We just want to make sure that we don't install a crossbar over a mounting foot. We need full access to that foot when it's on the vehicle, so we want to keep that open. So I'll just install probably 3 crossbars kind of randomly throughout. We'll get the mounting feet on, and then we'll place it on the vehicle and get it all lined up. All right, so now we're at the vehicle and we're gonna measure back from the edge of the windshield back 11 3/4 inches, and we're gonna make a mark on each side. That mark is gonna be our first hole that we'll drill out. Once we get that drilled out, we'll go ahead and install our plus nut, get the rack up here and aligned, and then we'll mark the back hole. But for now, let me show you these measurements. All right, so before we drill, just a couple of pro tips. This roof is really thick, so you wanna have a good sharp bit set, and we're gonna start out really small and incrementally work our way up. Our final bit size is 3/8. That's what we're gonna need to get our plus nut in there, but we need to do something to this aluminum trim. So we'll drill up to 1/4 inch, then we'll use this 7/8 hole saw just on this top trim piece. We don't wanna go all the way through the roof with this big dog here, just through this trim piece. So we'll drill up to 1/4, starting out small, then we'll get that 7/8 hole saw, then we'll continue drilling the hole to a final size of 3/8. Okay, so now we've drilled this out to 1/4 inch, and now we're gonna take our 7/8 hole saw bit, and we're gonna just drill out this black trim here. So there's 2 layers, so I'll stop and clean out the first layer out of here, and then we'll go through the second layer, and then we'll clean that out. But we don't wanna go through the roof, so just be careful with that. All right, now that we have the hole drilled out to 3/8 inch, what we're gonna do is we're gonna compress the plus nut in the front 2 holes. So how we do that is we take the longer bolt that came in your kit, slide on a washer, then the hex coupler, another washer, and then thread the plus nut up to that next washer. Make sure that the plus nut's snug against it, and then you can see I've put a little bit of black RTV silicone right on the lip so that when we push this into the roof, squeezes that out, and it's gonna make a good seal right there. And then to compress it, we're gonna hold the hex coupler with a 1/2 inch wrench, and we're gonna turn the top with a 7/16 wrench, and we're gonna go to 20 inch-pounds. We don't wanna over tighten this. Once we hit that, then we'll back out the bolt, and the plus nut will remain in the roof and ready for a bolt to mount to. So we got the rack sitting on the vehicle. We went ahead and started a bolt in each of the front 2 riv nuts. And back here, we're just gonna mark the center on each side of the mounting foot. Then we'll take the rack off the vehicle and drill these back 2 holes and do the same process as we did on the front with drilling up to a 1/4 inch, then the 7/8 hole saw, and then finish out at 3/8 of an inch. Now that we got all the plus nuts installed, we're gonna go ahead and get our washers and our spacers in. So just drop that in and try to center it as best you can over the plus nut, and then drop the spacer on. And we're gonna fill up the inside of the spacer with the silicone. And we don't need to fill up the whole thing, just get a little bit in there so we make a good seal on the threads going down in there of the bolt. All right, now for our last step, we're gonna get our wind deflector bolted up to this piece here with our Phillips head screws, and then we'll get our noise reducing trim pressed on and cut off the access. All right, so now let's go ahead and bolt up the wind deflector. We're gonna line it up with these slots here on each side and start it with the 3/4 inch long bolts and nuts. All right, guys, we got it all wrapped up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more videos like this.